Race fans, good evening and welcome to Redline Racing Network as we gear up for some high-octane Gen 4 action as the Premier Sim Racers Club goes to the Midwest, heart of Kansas, right here at this 1.5-mile oval as they get ready to tear it up tonight in prime time. After all, the Premier Sim Racers Club, always a sure bet after the football. Finish it off with some great iRacing action right here on Redline Racing Network. Good evening, Matt Metler up in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me here tonight, which is always going to be a wild roller coaster ride here in the Premier Sim Racers Club. Just under 1 minute remaining here in qualifying, and I'll tell you what, the driver that I've been talking about more and more in the past month or so, Chuck Sweeting, continues to perfect and just make himself as all-around better race car driver as he now looks to bag himself the pole here in the corn state. A lot of ethanol made not too far from this facility, as he currently has posted the best lap time of a 30.94 with a top speed of just about 200 miles an hour. So it looks like we're going to have 13 drivers attempt to take the initial green flag here this evening. You never want to count the chickens hatched before. However, we're now wrapping up qualifying. I can officially say Chuck Sweeting has won the pole, and I believe the first one of his Premier Sim Racers Club career, as we now switch things over. Get ready to go racing here tonight. Let's throw up the quick track facts. Take a look at tonight's weather. Throw that up on the big screen for everyone to follow along with us at home. 13:30 or 1 p.m. or excuse me, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Winds are a howling here. 18 miles an hour static right now, and they could be gusting 20 to 22, so they will be a factor in this race this evening. Ambient air temperature 66 degrees, 64% water drain, partly cloudy skies, and that sun is heating up the asphalt. 94 degrees, about 6 from that century mark, so tires will be a factor here this evening as well, as we now get ready to send it down trackside. This is field now getting racked, stacked, ready to rock and roll for 100 laps. So make sure you're strapped in. Make sure Grandma's got plenty of Colonel Free popcorn as that field now gets set behind that iRacing.com pace car. Let's go ahead and throw the ticker up there for you guys as well. A little modification to it. Why not make it a little Christmas holiday season upon us as well? Why not throw a little lime racing green in there? As it looks like about 75% of the competition is loaded inside of their race cars. You can see Chuck Sweeting there going to be on the pole here tonight. And outside of him, another driver that you can never count out of these things, the Red Bull Rocket Bentley Glazer on that outside lane. So just wrapping up their drivers' meeting. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineup from Hawthorne, Florida. I'll tell you what, he has found some serious boogie under the hoodie over the past 4 or 5 weeks or so and continues to make noise. Chuck Sweeting, your pole sitter. Outside of him, a man that needs no introduction, Bentley Glazer, always a factor in that camera. Charles Wood, having a great look in 19, or I almost said 1998. However, this would be the car you would see out on the racetrack in the late 90s. He's going to roll off P3. Travis Everett, the 13. Jack Daniels, colors on board this evening. From North Carolina, it's going to roll off 4th. While the master are going faster, GT Azari's going to roll off 5th. Sean in the 43, Richard Petty, it's Player Machine's going to start in that 8th place position, while Matthew Robinson in the 40, Natural Bite Machine, he's going to roll off P10. Doug Wasaki in the 34. Getting ready to go here. He's going to roll off in that 12th place position, while the 50 machine of Matt Cobb, I believe this is his first or second start here in the series from Pendleton, Indiana. Going to have his hands full out there. This guy should be a great addition to the series. Wish him the best of luck, which I believe is either his first or second start here tonight. As we send it back up to the point, as we get ready to go green flag racing, and Chucky's going to stand on it as these glorious V8s come roaring to life here in the Golden State. Chuck wasting no time trying to get an early advantage over Bentley Glazer. That is easier said than done. The Red Bull Rocket right where he wants to be. Jumping at the bit, trying to stalk his prey already. That being the 75 of Sweeting, of course, as he's just about 0.3 of a second off the lead. Single wild up cars. Travis Everett there. Then it starts to get a little dicey. Right around GT Azari. As he commands that bottom lane on the 46 of Ray poking on the outside. 2x2 side by side. It's a drag race down the backstretch into the turns 3 and 4 complex. GT is going to have an advantage here on the bottom, but look at that 46 to really hit the afterburner and carry that speed on the high side. Because, man, that was a dead even gridlock drag race at the start-finish line. These drivers still don't have it sorted. Again, Travis Everett, take a look in your mirror. I mean, you've got a swarm of angry wolves coming. Is the 46 now going to pull a little bit of a draft there? And that should help him clear. The 14 with GT is really going to stump in the corner. A little bit of a wiggle there out of the 46, and he's going to be able to clear the 14, not by much, but he does it cleanly. All this going on, and Sweden goes fast lap of the race at a 31.01, so all intents and purposes, breaking inside that 30-second barrier. Not quite, but we will get there before this one is said and done. I can promise you guys that. Because it's okay to three-way. So the 46 there got big time loose. He had to get out of the throttle there. That would have been the 6th place car. Numbers out there, formation on the racetrack. Now the 13 to Everett, he's going to slow the high side of the racetrack as well. Top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Tell you what, Matthew Robinson had a run there. He wasn't probably planning on the 46 to do that. He decides he's going where that 46 is, and that is on the bottom. Right behind Robinson, Michael Large in that Mustang. I mean, this guy had the hot hand to kick this series off. I mean, he was always in the conversation, just putting on consistent performances each and every time they strapped into this Gen 4 car. And I'm not sure maybe if some of these tracks just haven't been in his wheelhouse, but for whatever reason, that one has fallen off just a little bit. So look for him to rebound here tonight as he currently runs in that 8th place position. New fast lap up the race officially into the 32nd barrier, 39.7. is Chuck Sweeting and Bentley Glazer near the fastest lap time of the race on lap 6. So the Hawthorne, Florida man continues to carry the torch here, but Bentley Glazer, he's keeping him honest right now and dialing up the excitometer inside the cockpit at that 75. Back, what do you say we go on board with the Red Bull Rocket? Take a peek here to the inside. You can see who's coming there out of port, and that is only going to amplify as these Dr. Fieldwoods transition to field pads. Laser mirroring the tracks up to 75 right. These Goodyear Eagles start to wear out. You know, these lines, these lanes should really widen out. These reps should really explore the space out there. Covers and doors can be part of the equation, especially if we have long green flag lanes tonight, which this series is, you know, for all intents and purposes, accustomed to do. Curious about how fast they're going out there right now. All these cars, they make all the power and have all the speed out there on the racetrack. So we throw on the on-board tree, that's going to pop in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. He sends it off down the high side of the racetrack, 165 miles an hour, as he puts the power back down. Down north of 193 miles an hour as he sends it off into one. And already seeing about a half second of fall off over the course of 11 laps. Chuck Sweeting, Bentley Glazer both ran the fastest lap of the race back on lap 7, which was a 30.97. Last time by a 41.49. It's now Bentley Glazer has missile lock on the back of the 75. It used to be like the Intimidator of gold. Mere millimeters off the back of that race car at times, trying to get Sweeting to make a mistake. Tell you what, Bentley Glazer is no slouch to getting around these racetracks, and he has gone everywhere that Chuck has went. Just as I say that now, he's going to send it down to the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know if that's going to work for him too well as his tires start to give out already. He just could not put the power down. You can see the gap that Sweeting was able to open up there. Sends it back up to the top shelf. Mama hides the cookies here coming up. Charles Woods not letting these two drivers get away. In fact, their first three drivers in line, Sweeting, Glazer, Woods, run exactly where they qualified, so no change for position inside the top three. However, GT is sorry. Up one position to the good. Roloff 25 currently resides in that fourth place position that paint scheme made famous by Tony Stewart. Then you have the smooth pesky whiskey man, Travis Everett here, that rounds out the top five. Driver kind of going the wrong way here in the early going. That's Ray Bogan. He's hemorrhaged 2 positions as he holds on to a top 10, currently being scored in 8th. That Richard Petty-inspired 43 currently walks in 9th, and Henry Hart rounds out your top 10 now. It's 15 laps of pushing in the history so far this evening. Kawasaki, Michigan, man, those guys have been pelted and hammered with snow up there in the Great Lakes so far this winter. Hopefully Doug staying on top of that as he runs at 11th. Well, Matt Kopp currently up 2 positions and in that 12th place position. William Hawley currently rounds out the 13 drivers that took the green flag, and all of them still out there in competition. We send them back to the pool. Blazer got a little free there on the top shelf of the racetrack. He's keeping Chuck within arm's reach. Those two drivers virtually mirroring the same lap times and the same line out there on the racetrack. Battle through in here for that race position. Last time GT etched his mark in victory lane, that was a last lap high octane thriller. He used the chrome horn. Sparked a big time controversy at the end of a race about a month ago. Something I haven't seen him do up until that point. That's just how bad, how much they speed these winds mean to these drivers as he passes Jones once they're now finds himself inside the top three for the first time tonight. Quite frankly, this feels like a GT Azari racetrack, a place I thought coming into this broadcast that should perform well, and he is right on schedule now as he commands that third place position. Head coach, bottle washer, Bad Pat showing up here in the YouTube.com live chat. I want to thank him for stopping in tonight. Miss him out there on the racetrack, but hey, you gotta live a little bit. You got family, kids, everything else going on. But shame we don't see him out there in competition, but cannot thank him enough for everything that he does. All the hard work to make Premier Sim Racers Club as good as it possibly can be. He's always going to give that 10% on all the fronts when it comes to the iRacing side of things. So to back up here to the point, virtually right where we left off, Chuck Sweeting continues to carry the momentum, and you can really see this driver adapt and grow in this Gen 4, especially over the past 30 days or so. I mean, when we kicked this season off, he was more of a mid-pack driver. You didn't see him necessarily contending for, top fives, podiums, or even wins week in and week out, but that's what Chuck has really transitioned to. I mean, he has really found something out, or he's figured something out, I should say, about this Gen 4 car. He is really making it work for him out there, and quite frankly, making it look easy as he continues to run the wall Kyle Larson style here. He has the Red Bull rocket in tow, not letting him get away. A lot of times I say in this Gen 4 machine, catching them is one thing, passing them is another. As you start to pick up that dirty air wake, the car gets a little tight coming off the corner there as you see the back of Blazer's car do the jig. Continue to mirror the line of Chuck Sweeting. But there is a driver that's trying to race front to it. That's the master of going faster, GT Azari. And how about Michael Larch in that Golf 1 Mustang? I told you this driver here is in a little bit of a slump right now. We kicked this season off. He was fighting for wins. He was lighting this series up. And for whatever reason, just kind of lost his vibe, his mojo, if you will, over the past couple of weeks. He's rebounding here early. He's won the fourth biggest mover of the race thus far. Actually, I take that back. Robinson in seventh is up 3 spots as well, but still Large in that Golf 1 showing signs of impossibly returning to form here. And I'll tell you what, if that's the case, I'll put all these drivers on notice, because when that Golf 1 machine is on, I mean, he is going to give it to you one way or the other. lap 26. That's going to bring out the competition caution. And again, using the 2003 rules of scoring format, no stage breaks during that era of NASCAR racing, so we can't call it a stage break, so we'll just call this a competition caution. Give these drivers a chance to come down pit road, check tire wear, fuel mileage. Also, can make some mental adjustments to the car. They get a really clean, good tire run here. I think the big storyline is the fall off. You know, if you look at Bentley Glazer's best lap, which turned on lap 5 at 30.97, last time by a 33.22. So that is a ton of fall off in under 30 laps. So something these drivers are going to certainly pay attention to. We've seen that line migrate really from the bottom up to the high side of the racetrack, ripping the lip of the fishbowl. With that being said, we're going to step away, pay some bills for the first time this evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with coverage from Kansas right here on Redline Racing Network. cutting back in hard from commercial break. His green flag back in the air here at Kansas, excuse me. And we've had a shuffle here at the point as Bentley Glazer has decided it was time to uncork the Saturn V5 rocket strapped to the back of that Red Bull machine. And he is shot out of a cannon to the biggest lead we've seen so far tonight. Almost a whole second now over Chuck Sweeting as he decided it was time to light the fuse and get to the good side of things and turn on the boogie. Tell you what, he wasted no time taking it back upstairs. I mean, hey, that's the spot of the racetrack that was vibing with him. It was working well, so why get away from it? If it's not broke, don't fix it. As Bentley now leads for the first time this evening. We work lap 35 of the schedule, 100 here in the beautiful state of Kansas, right here on Redline Racing Network. Bull Center slot back one on that scoring pylon. First time he's going to be in dirty air, and like we've seen in the first opening stage, or opening, there I did, I said stages, the opening segment of this race. He too mirroring the line of Glazer. As he continues to run just a mere inches off that safer barrier at times as we come through the Geico restart zone. I'll tell you what, folks, we're clicking laps off in under 31 seconds at time. This race is going to go by quick, fast, and in a hurry. BT Azari, great battle here on the racetrack, starting to heat up. That Burger King ride trying to stay aflame and keep himself ahead. The 28 of Bad Boy Troy. In fact, let's go on board with the 28 at the current. Tries to get one for GT Azari to make a mistake here on the racetrack as he is really dialing up the excitometer in the cockpit of that race car. Side by side, we're going to go back out, widen this thing out. Great battle here. John Moore special down the backstretch. 14's going to eat on the bottom here in that Impala. The 28's going to mirror him. Roy able to keep that car lit on the high side and able to complete the pass on GT, at least for the moment. I don't see Azari backing down by any means here. Again, he's been good over the long run throughout the course of this season. So perhaps trying to make Troy run the tires off of that thing prematurely. March rounds out the top 5 here as he leads this group of cars. This is going to be 5th, Matthew Robinson, the natural bike machine, in 6th, and at 43 machine. Rounds out your top 7 here. At the front, it's still the Red Bull Rocket. Chuck Sweeting not close enough yet to contend for the position, so we're going to keep the cameras right here. This is the best battle really on the racetrack we have right now. In fact, these guys start to staple file out just a little bit. Doug Wasaki has now found his way inside the top 10. Ooh, there, getting a little squirrely there off the corner. That's pretty common for this Gen 4 car. You really got to drive this thing off the right rear, get up on that wheel. Charles Woods here must have had an oopsie, either on pit road or on the initial restart, because he is hemorrhaged all of a sudden 7 positions as he finds himself now the last car inside the top 10. Remember that 98, was up there battling for a podium before we had that first competition yellow. Travis Everett currently resides in an 11th place machine. Newcomer Matt Kopp having a great run so far this evening, which I believe is his debut in the series. I could be wrong, but I believe this is the first time we're seeing him out there in competition tonight. William Hawley in the 30 run currently rounds out 13 drivers that took the initial green flag, all of them still out on the racetrack and in competition. No cautions for incident, just the one. That was scheduled. These drivers knew it was coming before they took the green flag. It's all Red Bull Rocket. The TRD marketing slogan says, "Let's go places." Glazer has gone to the front, and he has kept it there. Chuck has chewed off some of that interval, though. It's back under a second, currently at 7/10 of a second.
Take it down.
45 laps of the 100 scheduled here from Kansas, now written in the history books. We're going to step aside and do our first all-out wide-open coverage break of the race. Stick around. You're not going to miss anything right here on Redline Racing Network. Race fans, I am terribly sorry. I made a rookie mistake and forgot to unmute my microphone. I apologize. So here I am talking to myself and me, myself, and I for about the past 15 laps. Oh, you guys can have fun with this. Light me up for it. It's okay. It's Michael Large now. Takes over the lead, as like I was saying before, but no one can hear me. Pit stops underway as Charles Woods currently getting on pit road. Doug Wasaki there as well as he's down away from tires. Duke Sonoma Racing Team going to be the call here. So we're going to make it all that horsepower dark. Usually the fuel economy. There's going to be some give and take, and you pay a premium for the fuel mileage department compared to the current cars. But that's about the benefit of it. The benefit, if you ask me. This car, of course, made famous during the golden era of NASCAR. This is what it should be. All the horsepower and torque you can ask for today's 15-inch rim, 5 lug nuts, track bar. Not nothing like the current car. I'll tell you that much. There's something about the way this car sounds that just lost, unfortunately, in the sands of time. That car tomorrow wasn't very popular, however, that was a good sound and power plant as well. Ever since we started turning down the power, we've lost the thunderous up, the beautiful noise that comes out of the tailpipes or the exhaust pipes out of these race cars, especially you got an X pipe on one of these things, or two, as they like to call them. Chuck Sweeting now after like, whoa, great flag pit stops. Stumbling on he resides in second. GT Azari has entrenched himself in third. He was able to gain those two positions here, and it looks like he was kind of hit a brick wall. Is Robinson is going to give up the lead here, going to stay out long here. He's given up some precious time out there on the racetrack. Last time by Robinson, he ran basically a 33.30. Compared to Chuck Sweeting's lap of 31.19. So that's just how important those downward movements are. It's going to be down and play here momentarily, and there he goes. This will now cycle. The Sweetness, Chuck Sweeting back to the lead in the 75 run. Now, just as I made those comments a moment ago about that third place hitting the brick wall, well, he has punched through it as he now finds himself in the bridesmaid position. That Burger King Flame Royal Chevrolet. Blazer slips a spot, still inside the money though, hanging on to that third place position while Michael Lawrence continues to charge towards the front. Travis Everett rounds out your top 5 here on Redline Racing Network. Kawasaki having an uneventful, and sometimes that is good. So he is putting down a good campaign here just outside the top 10. So he has kept that car lean, mean, and clean since the drop of the green flag. We now close in on 25 laps to go as he goes down the American Ethanol backstretch. Let's go ahead and pop the weather, see how the weather has changed, if any, over the course of this run so far this evening. Weather oftentimes a big factor in these races. Still continues to stick out is that wind. I mean, when you're coming through the 3-4 complex, no wonder why these cars are a handful coming off of 4. I mean, you have a static, a brisk wind currently at right now at 20 miles an hour. That'll really push the side of that race car and just make it kick the back right up towards the fence. Track temp continues to get a little bit spicier as well as now up to 94 degrees. Ambient air temp down a point, however. Really, the storylines here are the wind and the track temp. It's hovering right between 19 and 20 miles an hour. That's been really since the drop of the flag is just how windy. Chuck Sweeting is doing it well. Inside the cockpit of that race car. Tell you what, the last time by, Blazer, going drift mode as we just cut to him. He likes letting that car hang out. He's feeling good. That car's driving great. Fastest car on the racetrack. Last time by ran a 31.43. That's 0.3 faster than GT Azari. In fact, watch just how quick he's running him down. We'll go on board that Toyota. Still eating on the bottom. Listen to that car approach 9,000, now more than 9,000 RPM. And he's just painting the bottom here like Kevin Harvick in Atlanta. A lot of these guys are going northbound, taking it upstairs. Blazer. Try and take that one off the top shelf and the next round translate that. Now you can see how it is closing the distance there. On the Burger King 14 continues to be 2/10 quicker. These are having enough time. Beat down Chuck Sweeting. How much of a flight is GT is sorry. I mean, he was no walk in the park. I mean, he's going to make the work for passing. Late going, however, it's the ring that pressure tires. Play a critical role here as Laser got loose there again. Hey, but he's so good, you miss him. Could happen here. Complex here as the continues. He's so set working the bottom. He's not going to try to come up and take this line away. Look at some good rhythmic this track in. GT does not want to get out of that rhythm. Now Mike brings back out. Razzle dazzle. Drag race down the backstretch. These drivers giving each other plenty of real estate to work with their corner. As you transition to the loud pedal, you know, that car naturally just wants to carry up towards the wall. Laser drifts and completes the pass. Check the box back to second where he started. GT's not giving up. He's going to set it in there like grandma's business after church on Sunday. Laser has to clear the 14. This battling going on has allowed Chuck to go over Green. It's that gap now. Just about 1.84 seconds between himself and the 75 round. Back to show you what that looks like on the racetrack. Let's set it up here to the front view. And in fact, we still don't see Laser in the frame yet. And GT is already. You can see with just 15 laps remaining is in time. Chuck Sweeting get a much deserved win in the Sim Racers Club Channel 4 Series. He has been close, wasn't able to close it out. You know, quite frankly, last time we interviewed him, he said, hey, competition just executed better in the late stages of the race. He said, I need to get better. Tonight, I think, is the right plan of action. So we can start to see Bentley Laser running him down. However, Laser just ran a 32.50 at Chuck Sweeting's 32.53. The interval being at 1.7 seconds. That is not going to be enough. Laser is going to have to pick it up, or Sweeting is going to have to fall off a cliff here. If you're the driver inside of that 75 right now, you're just, sometimes the demons of the past come back to haunt you the first time, and, you know, every which way he's probably lost a race, he's probably thinking about all the bad things can happen. Late race caution. just whatever could possibly kick the mojo, the air out of his sails. This will potentially be the longest 10 laps of his life, it'll feel like, when he gets back to the line. Laser a 10 faster that time, 32.49 to a 42. There's the intervals there between first and second. You can see he's just not chewing enough up into it. I do not want to invoke the broadcaster's curse on Chuck Sweeting here, so maybe for the time being, and back here at the 24 and 3rd GT Azari. Tell you what, I mean, he is close in close proximity here. I mean, he could have saved a little bit. I mean, Bentley may be in trouble. I mean, he is within striking distance. He is now. Come off the bottom of the racetrack with his glue down there, and now the is taking it up about a half lane on entry. Oh, the 24 got loose there again. That's going to reignite the fire inside that 14. In fact, here he goes. He's going to send it in on the bottom. Right down to the white line. And 24 rips the fence. Barely able to clear in front of that 14 machine. Don't look now, but Michael Larch coming into this battle as well. GP said, hey, you didn't put enough dirt on me. I dusted myself off. I got back on the wheel, and I am here, buddy. Remember, GT not afraid to use the Grove horn here. Arrow loose there. This is two-style trench. Person that's loving seeing this in their mirror, no one more than this guy. 5.5 laps remaining. Great battle here, starting as well for that 5th and 6th place position. That's Everett Robinson. Robinson good for 260 positions to the good. Just outside the top 5 on the pecking. The Toyota Chevrolet and a Ford here. Mixing it up. Smothering cover just like the Waffle House hash browns. It's about as good as you can possibly get here without lining up with race cars. These drivers right here show me you don't have to wreck each other to put on a good show. As the 24 almost uncorked, self-inflicted concrete poisoning. The one got such a big run there. Here goes GT as he dials up the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's just not quite enough. I worry about the way Glazer comes down across the nose to that 14. It's almost been disastrous a couple times here. Eventually, one of these times, the 14 is going to sugar. You know what? Under 5 laps to go, GT paints him. You can't get mad at him. I mean, I'm not lifting. 2040, okay. Side by side, door to door. It speeds over 190 miles an hour at the start-finish line. His thing is popsicle sticks in the air, though, for Chuck Sweeting, who looks to punch his ticket for the very first time in victory lane here in the Premier Sim Racers Club. However, we have a hot and heavy battle for that third place position here as well. I am taking on the formation of the Blue Angels here on the final lap. 24 is going to try to squeeze it on the top side of the racetrack. But these guys battle for that second and third, fourth place position. I got to give Chuck what he deserves and what he is owed, and that is coverage here all the way to the checkered flag. As he swings high, he says hi to the fans off of the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Chuck Sweeting is going to kick the camel off of his back, and he is going to get his first win here in the Premier Sim Racers Club. This Bentley Glazer is going to somehow recapture that second place position. Michael Larch past Azari for third, GT Azari fourth, and Travis Everett comes home fifth. But how about Chucky? Oh, the beast unleashed here. He put it all together here, executed. The best I have seen all season long. The man continues to get better. It has now become a dominant force in this series. Congratulations, Chuck Sweeting. It was a long time coming, bud, but you finally pulled it off here in Kansas. Congratulations. Burn the house down, man. What a drive from the 75. Sometimes he probably thought the stage just wouldn't come. He's been so close as of recent. Race he'll probably always remember here in Kansas as he sends it down pit road now. What a drive from Chuck Sweeting as he put it all together here, executed all three phases of the race, and a much deserving win. Could not be happier for him, and you know he's going to be fired up here. We get ready to talk him to him in just a few moments as we give these drivers a second to check in with their teams. Joining me now, the Tony Trapassa Memorial Broadcast Booth, Chuck Sweeting. Congratulations on finding victory lane. You executed here in all three phases. We're not going to be denied, and you got it done here in Kansas. Congratulations. What's the emotion like? How you feeling right now, bud?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I've been struggling at Kansas last few times I've been here, and I think I might have found a little bit of something tonight. Usually, if I short pit, Bentley gets me on the long run, and tonight I was able to maintain that lead. So, awesome run tonight.
You know, I feel like we were having a very similar conversation just a week ago where you said, Glazer was just better than me when it mattered coming down to the wire. I have to be better. And Chuck, tonight, I mean, you came out here, you were barn blazing from the drop of the green flag. And tonight, you switched the tides around. This time, you were the man with the lead, with the advantage late in this race, and you were able to seal the deal. And, quite frankly, I really think you've been you know, digging deep, finding just some extra speed out there in the race car, really over the course of the past month or so. You have really turned it on. The only thing that's been missing, in my opinion, has been this victory, and well deserved tonight, man. Congratulations, bud. Who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
Yeah, thanks to Sam for all the hard work he does putting us on week in and week out. I know it's a lot of work, and appreciate it. Uh, thanks to all the drivers for all the respect they show. It's such a good league. Got some
It
great
is.
drivers here, and appreciate them. Appreciate the fans for watching, and yeah, just had a good night tonight. So I'm gonna go celebrate.
Hey, you have one for me, buddy. And I'll tell you what, I know up here in the broadcast booth, we're not supposed to be biased or pick favorites, man, but there's not one person more I wanted to see tonight than you. I mean, you have been laying it all out there on the racetrack week after week. And finally, the guy that deserves one gets one here. And with a heck of a performance out there, too, man. Congratulations. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the Premier Sim Racers Club in the Gen 4 Series. Chuck Sweeting executes in all three phases of the race here in Kansas. He's your winner. Look for him to keep that mojo vibing next week. I appreciate you joining me up here in the 20 Paso Memorial broadcast booth, but have fun and enjoy it.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a great night, everybody.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Chuck Sweeting, fresh off of his first victory here in this campaign, and could be one of many more to come over the next upcoming weeks. So we now put him into the actually put myself in the infield care center. I'm so fired up for that run Chuck had this evening. You know, sometimes it's nice to see the guy that, you know, deserves a win to go out there and get one. Not that none of the other guys out there do, but such great competition. But, you know, Chuck's put in the seat time, and you can tell he has been working extra hard at it. Just great to see him execute, capture a checkered flag here at Kansas. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with post-race interviews, as we always do here on Redline Racing Network. Going to see if anyone else is available. It seems like everyone has decided to pop bottles and open the champagne, beers, what have you. All the post-race spirits is, they said, Matt, hey, we're gonna start drinking them without you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, all good things must come to an end, including this broadcast. Cannot thank all the fans, all you guys supporting us in the youtube.com live chat, all the partners, sponsors that make this great league possible. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso used to say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor, don't play in traffic, and we'll see you next time right here on Redline Racing Network.